picture you are on a journey in the forest, on this path. It's meandering, and you're with two of your loved ones, and you see this butterfly flutter, and you see this red apple, and you grab it, and you bite into it, and it's delicious, it's juicy, it's amazing, there's so much color, there's flowers everywhere, and you're just loving life. There's so much to love and see and do, and you're excited for everything. And out of nowhere, a tiger comes out and pounces on you and tries to eat you. He's hungry, and he slashes you across your face. He's scratching you. He's trying to bite you, and you're fighting him off, and you're defending yourself, and you finally get the courage to punch him in the throat or something, anything to get him off of you, and he freaks out and runs off into the forest, and all of a sudden, you realize that not everything is always happy and blissful and wonderful, and that there are some evils in this world, and maybe it's just because he's hungry, but all of a sudden you've fallen victim to it. So you decide that you are never going to let anything harm you again. You're going to armor up, you're going to suit up, and you're going to put the gloves on and the helmet and maybe just kind of see how great things are, but like not fully dive in. You're going to reach for the apple, but your armor is so heavy, you're just like, oh, well, maybe I'll have the apple some other time. And so you're seeing all these colors and you're layering up, and I invite you to realize that we're all on this journey where we endure different experiences in different ways where we armor up. And some of us have thicker armor than others. Some of us endure some traumatic things where we just keep layering like an onion, the layers that come on. And I want you to look at life in a way that's a hill. And we come into the world so, like we started this journey, so blissful and open and vulnerable to anything and everything, and we want to express ourselves so naturally. And while we look at the world kind of in a naive way, we also are so vulnerable to being ourselves at our core, deepest level. And we express ourselves naturally and fully, and it's exciting. That point in time is exciting, and nothing can get in our way, and we want to love. And I remember this story that this woman told me. She was at an airport, and there was this little girl and her mom, and they saw another friend of theirs on the other side of the glass, and this little boy has been playing with this little girl on play dates and stuff, and so when they saw each other, they both ran to the window and were like, hi, and just like, smashed each other against the window, and just so excited to see each other, where the parents were like, hey, you can see the difference of the protection, the body language, where the kids were exuberant and excited, and then the adults were more closed off, and you're like, what happens over time that they're both not running to the window and so excited to see each other? Where is the connection faded off? So understanding the vulnerability levels and seeing where you are in this path. And so as we climb up here and we have all these things that happen to us, we get to this phase of realization that, oh my gosh, maybe I've put on so much armor that I'm protecting myself from not only the bad, but maybe I'm protecting myself from really connecting to the good, the connections and acknowledging each other for who we are and what I see in you is, and actually having a deeper connection with our family members and our friends, and to really see the good in all of us, because deep down we all really just want to connect with each other. And so we get to this point here and we're like, wow, my state of vulnerability isn't there. How am I going to have the relationship that I've always wanted? How am I going to invite family and just this positive way of life if I'm so guarded, if my heart's just wrapped up in armor like an onion, and just I need to peel it to be able to welcome in someone that I want in my life. And that's something that I've come to a realization recently. I'm like, wow, I feel so disconnected. I'm attracting very unavailable men. And having that realization is like, oh, maybe it's not them, there's something being reflected back to me, and I think that's something we all get to take away from. So at this point now I'm like, okay, what layers do I need to shed? And as we get older, we're realizing more and more that as we shed, we start caring less and less about the risk and the judgments and the criticisms that come from the people in our lives, or the tigers that may jump out at you. You may be able to duck better, but you're still putting yourself out there, being able to reach for that apple and to enjoy what life has to offer. So asking you where you are on this spectrum, when can we get to this point where you're just like, I don't care, this is me, I love life, everything's great, and being able to still stand for yourself and hold yourself high and know where you can understand where people are at in their lives. And I don't know if you guys have seen the Broadway show Wicked. Anyone? Mm-hmm. It's how the Wicked Witch becomes wicked. And she didn't start off that way. She came into this world and she was green and people gave her a lot of trouble. And all of a sudden she just doesn't understand why people are treating her this way. She has a really good heart. And after a while she sees the bad intentions of other people and she decides that she's going to be wicked instead, and that she can protect herself in that way, and for the rest of her life no one's going to bring her down, she's going to remain wicked. So understanding where people are hurt in their lives and why they do the things that they do, kind of understanding why that tiger, he was hungry, he didn't like have any malicious intent except for the fact that he just wanted to eat you because he's hungry. So understanding intentions of others will also help you understand where you can peel the onion layers down or keep yourself protected. Picking and choosing who you invite into your life. So I challenge you all with stepping into action. Because when we realize we're protecting ourselves so much, there's a fear there, an underlying fear of why we aren't being accepted or rejected, or the fear of really being hurt. So I challenge you to face your fears, go after life, and peel the layers down.
Nice.